Hello, Cholo Kutepa is my name. I'm excited to welcome you back on the show. All right, this is a show where I have Bible answers to every relationship question. So let's go into today's question. Did I just say questions? All right, tell me, man of God, what are the minimum standards I should watch out for in choosing a life partner? So, I'm going to give you 6 things to think about in who you choose. And these are minimum standards that I believe you need to watch closely to be sure. And this is not just the choice of dating or courting. This goes one notch higher than that, to the point where I choose not just to stop at dating, but I'm now convinced while dating and courting with you that I can take you all the way to marriage. So these are 6 things you must greatly consider. Or let me say, for the sake of emphasis, a 7th one will be added at the beginning before I get into my list. So the first one that's not on my list, but which is important and foundational, is what the Bible describes in 2 Corinthians, where it says that we should not be unequally yoked. So I'm saying all the 6 other things against the backdrop of the fact that this person is in faith, truly born again. All right, has the fruit of salvation. All right, the fruit of the Spirit as contained in Galatians. All right, self-control, gentleness, and all of those fruits of the Spirit in Galatians chapter 5. So let's get into my list. Number 1, do not marry a person you cannot trust with your life. All right, now that's important to note. You should never. Now, marriage is the relationship of the highest trust. So you are able to trust this person with your life. You are going to be sleeping in the same room with this person if you have a normal marriage. You are going to be eating off this person without suspicion. You are going to put your life on the table with this person. All right, so one of the things that must be in place is the highest level of trust. I mean, you can trust this person with your existence. You can trust this person with your very, very, very life. Like, you can go to sleep with this person determining what happens next. All right, I always used to make this joke about pharmacies. When you look at the pharmacist license, it's so funny. A pharmacist is actually licensed to deal in poisons, because even what we call medication is controlled poison, as it were, or controlled substance, as it were. That's why you have medications that you cannot buy over the counter except through prescription, because the pharmacist is the one who is licensed to deal in substances that ordinary people cannot make decisions about. All right, now, imagine coming home to eat from a person you do not even have a second thought whether they're interested in killing you or keeping you, whether they're interested in your good or in your bad. So too many things will happen in marriage that will not require thinking. Like, you go to the same bed, you eat of this person, you take stuff from this person, you sleep in the same house that has a sharp knife in the kitchen while you are dozing off in the bedroom. All right, now this sounds like the extreme examples, but let's get it right. You want to be sure that you trust this person's intention of being with you, because some people come into your life, you don't even know what they are coming for. You must arrive at the point where you know what they are in your life for. That's the foundation of trust. Why are you here? All right, trust is also, for some people, it is, why does this person want to marry me? Because some people want to marry just because they are tired of being single. All right, you can't really trust this one, because something may happen in life that requires their loyalty in another thing, and they won't care. All right, just like yesterday, I was watching a documentary on eagles, and I heard something about the eagles that shocked me. So 2 eaglets, being kept by their mother, one of them died before the mother could come back. They were going through a drought or something. Now, the mother fed the dead eaglet to the one that made it. And the documentary said something that shocked me, that they don't have any, that they're the lowest moral animals. I'm like, whoa, that they don't have that sense of affinity. That once that eaglet was dead, it's food. I mean, they are so focused on their survival and not, necessarily the feelings of affinity and all of that. So you want to be careful when it comes to the issue of trust, that this person thinks of your best and thinks of the union above themselves. Like I always say, when it comes to the context of marriage, none of you is as important as both of you. So that's the foundation of trust. You want to be sure that you can put your life on the table and you are preserved with them. You want to be sure that your best interest is the basic foundation on which their heart stands when it comes to relating with you. What's my number 2 point? Forgiveness. Forgiveness. That's my number 2 point. Forgiveness. All right, so do not marry a person who does not know how to both give and receive forgiveness. Do not marry a person who does not know how to give and receive forgiveness. And I'm going to explain both of them. Number one, we are too imperfect to live with a person who cannot forgive. I'm telling you. So you need to see these examples in their life even before you commit to marry them. We are too imperfect to be with anybody who does not know how to give forgiveness. None of us has attained the level of perfection we would attain when Jesus shows up. That's what the Bible says very clearly. When we see him, we'll be like him. We'll be translated. That's when we'll get into the fullness of the fullness. So we can attain maturity here. But I can say this to you, it doesn't matter who you marry, there will be something to forgive. Always. And I wish I can say this just as an occasion. No, you will always have to forgive something, because nobody in that sense is so perfect that there's nothing you would have to forgive. Then on receiving forgiveness, I'll give you the story of two persons in the Bible. Number one person, Judas Iscariot. Number two person, Peter, the one who gave a revelation that Jesus said, on this rock I'll build my church. Both of them denied Jesus. Both of them sinned against their friend, their master, their teacher. One went to hang himself because he could not take the forgiveness that was readily available. God did not kill Judas. Judas killed himself because he didn't know how to receive. This is where you see spouses who will do something wrong and will become depressed even when the other partner is offering forgiveness. They'll become, besides themselves, depressed. They'll go into a mood. No, don't beat yourself up. All of us have come through imperfection to be where we are. All of us have made mistakes. So you want to deal with somebody who has a healthy enough esteem to receive forgiveness. Because a lot of times, people who don't even know how to receive forgiveness are proud people. Because they want to feel like they can never make mistakes in life. We receive forgiveness because we are humble enough to know that we are imperfect. And of course, people who give forgiveness lavishly. Like I said, the world is too imperfect for us to be in a position where we do not give forgiveness. Let me say this to you. Every marriage that has excelled till date, excelled because forgiveness was given. No marriage will excel if forgiveness is not on the table. My number 3 point is inspiration. Do not marry a person who does not inspire you in anything at all. And let me correct this. We live in a world where we take things from a superficial angle. So when I mention inspiration, people want to think, he inspired me to start a business, she inspired me to save money. Please, come down from the high horses. Go into life. That's why I said inspire you in anything at all. All right, what in their life makes you want to be a better person in an area? Is it their prayer life? Is it their devotion to the Lord? Is it their Bible study life? Is it their acumen for business? Is it their capacity to save? Is it their capacity to advise and encourage? There must be something about them that inspires something about you. And while there may be different aspects of their capacity to inspire you, there must be that one or two that are so key that because God does not bring people together for nothing. So he looked at Adam and said, it's not good for man to be alone, I'll make for him a helper. That means your partner comes with a kind of help. Your partner comes with something that you are not that they are. Your partner comes with something that they are good at that you are not exactly good at. So it becomes important to come to the point where you realize that there's an inspiration available and on the table. All right, so there must be mutual inspiration. Something must inspire both of you about both of you. All right. All right, next point closely associated with that, which is our 4th point of the 6 points I have for you, words and action. Do not marry a person whose words and action damages your esteem. Don't do it. Some people live are in abusive relationship where, when their partner speaks, oh my God, you just wonder, what are you doing with this person? See, people are going to be speaking and acting around you all their lives, or all your lives together. So you want to be sure that their action and their words inspire something in you. All right, so that if their words and action cannot inspire you, you're with the wrong person. That's the honest truth. Words and action must inspire you to be together. All right. So you don't want anybody whose words and action puts you down. Is not a candidate for marriage. It doesn't matter what you feel towards them. Why am I saying this? Marriage is a pressure zone, like I always explain. Very pressure zone. Full of pressure. Now, what happens in pressure is people speak and act. So if marriage is a pressure zone, that means both of you are going to be speaking and acting for the rest of your life. So if all they do with the pressure of life, or all they do in their default position is to speak you down, see, there's enough discouragement in life. You don't want a partner who deepens the discouragement. Life has enough problems already. All right? So their speaking must inspire. Their speaking must lift you. You must feel like a valuable person when you're around them. Until you feel so, they are the wrong person. There's no need to lie about it. So their words and action must, all right, inspire you. All right, next point, the fifth point, something you must see in place, money and wealth. Do not marry a person who can do anything for money. These are not, I said in the last point that we live in a pressured world and marriage is a pressure zone. Have you seen bill coming to marriage? From rent if you are not living in your own, or from paying rates, government rates and taxes if you are living in yours, to the pressure of life. I tell people when people come together, automatically you have expanded your family. You now have people you did not exactly bargain for, people you need to help, people you need to reach out to, people you need to assist. I mean, you just expanded your responsibility. Birthdays you did not bargain for, burial, weddings, all manner of stuff. Marriage itself is a pressure zone. And when the children arrive, I heard a joke recently, it just made me laugh. So a family gathered home for Christmas and they saw their dad sleeping unusually longer than he used to, like into the morning, and the children asked him, "Dad, what happened?" And the man is like, I'm just feeling the liberty and the freedom of 25 years of paying school fees. Because at that time, his last child had just left school. But I tell you something about marriage. A good man leaves inheritance for his children's children. That man is still not free. Because if he's not set up those children, he's going to have to do something to set them up. So when it comes to the issue of money and wealth, let me tell you, the world runs on a money economy. So people's conduct towards money is something you must watch before you choose them. People's conduct towards money. I have a teaching on this YouTube channel that to deal with money pressures. You may want to look at that, even for single people or married people. All right. In fact, there's one I taught about the financial disposition of a person you are dating before you marry them. I dealt with issues of disposition. All right. So I'll not go into all of that here. But it's very important to understand their money habits, because anybody who can do anything for money will one day sell you. Those are the people who join a cult when the pressure is down. Those are the people who join things they should never be part of, commit sin, go against the word of the Lord, get into everything we know we should never be part of. All right, so be careful, what you're looking at. And finally, final point, do not marry anybody at all who does not have authority figures in their life. That is exactly how monsters are built in marriage. So you see, sometimes I see people come to me, you're dating someone who doesn't have a definite pastor or mentor they listen to. In fact, let's start from family relationship. They don't even listen to anybody in their own family. Very risky. This independent spirit of the 21st century. You think the person is a strong person until the strength is used against you, which is a problem. So you want to be sure that they are accountable to a system. You want to be sure that they can listen to a person. You want to be sure that the humble spirit. And how do you know a humble spirit? A teachable person. Somebody who can listen. Somebody who can pay attention. Somebody who has, who has people who can speak to them. So some people come to me for counseling and I ask, who does your husband submit to? Who does your wife listen to? Do you pay attention to your pastor? I have also seen people change church because of what I'm saying. Because they are in a mode where they don't listen to nobody. So if the pressure comes that somebody wants to talk to them, they simply walk away. And that's disastrous. Absolutely disastrous. So you want to see practically. And let me quickly say this. That's why I say to people, can I have your spiritual heritage? Who do you listen to? Who does the person you listen to? What's your spiritual heritage? How long have you been in the local assembly you have been? How many churches have you changed in 5 years? When you see some spiritual nomads, that is why they are nomadic. Somebody correct them, they switch off or they move on. That's a problem. So you want to be sure that consistently Their life reveals, a picture of a person who can submit to authority. You will need those authorities. Because let me say this to you. Sometimes when I just sit and think about the people I'm accountable to, I am forced to be a better husband. Have you ever thought of some people you just realize you have to go and do better? Your report should not be them. Or some you don't even need to be reported. The fact that you look at them, like recently my pastor celebrated 27 years in marriage. I mean, in the course of our crossover service, because his anniversary is 31st of December every year. I mean, I just sat there and I just was challenged again. We're just 11 years plus in, 27 years. I admire his home. I admire his marriage. Just looking at the marriage, enough positive pressure to do better. All right? So it's important that they have authority figures in their life. People they listen to. People that can make them accountable to a better life. All right? I really hope that these 6 points, 7 points today would help you in your decision making as to who is worthy to be taken to the next level when it comes to the issue of getting married. Once again, this is the show where we have Bible answers to every relationship question. You may want to send your question to the email address right on the screen. Ucholi Okutepa is my name. We love you.